Natural World Order, World Without Borders, A World Without End by Brian Popo. The 30th of the 5th, 2014, 11 minutes past 12. A brief history of Emma. No, sorry. However, to cut a long story short, about 2 weeks ago, on Wednesday evening, about 6:30 in the evening on Sire Street, that's C-L-Y-D-E, as I was going shopping, I heard a loud female voice calling me, Catman. I knew it was Emma because this is the way she always addresses me, even though she knows my name, but I'm pretending I didn't hear her because she's always shouting at me and forever threatening to do me something. And I never take much notice of her because she's only a little girl to me. But she shouted so loud the second time, and with so much aggressivity in her voice, I just had to take notice of her. But when I turned around to see what she wanted, she started to walk towards me in an aggressive manner. She had a young white male with her at the time. She started shouting at me, accusing me of making noise all through the night, disturbing her from her sleep. But when I tried to explain to her I was not in my flat at the time, I was at my family's for 2 days, she just wouldn't believe me. I asked her, did she go and check where the noise was coming from? She refused to hear anything I had to say and just started to verbally abuse me and my cat. So I told her to piss off. Then in a fit of rage, she just pushed me in front of the whole street. So I said to her, why did you start to... Well, and I said to her, why did you push me? Is it because you are a girl? Do you think I would not hit you back? Then I told her, I already know your plan. You hit me, I hit you back, then you would phone the police like your neighbour, and because you are a white girl, I'm a black man, I would always be arrested. She looked at me and smiled and said, that's the way it works, bruv. And I said to her, if you want to talk, talk, but don't put your hands on me. She just started verbally abusing me again. So I said something back to her, and she pushed me a second time. So I pushed her back in self-defense, but I pushed her back in self-defense. But not hard. Then about 3 young boys who saw me push her again, said, allow it, blood, allow it. She's only a girl. But I said she pushed me twice. But all they kept saying was allow it, she's only a girl. Then the man that was with her shouted at me twice, are you mad, bruv? Then he put his hands on me. I told him to remove his hands off me. He refused to remove his hand. So I twisted his hands and I pushed him away and I said, now I'm going to knock you out. So I put my bag down and my trolley down and I was walking towards them, but they were walking away from me backwards. But then I was going towards him, he started saying, I know where you live, bruv. And I said, I know where you live. But I just realised what he meant. I believed that he was threatening to burgle in my flat. So I started to leave. So I started leaving them. Then Emma phoned the police in front of me and told him I punched her in the face and her mouth was bleeding. I couldn't believe it. What a liar. So I left it at that. I thought she was just joking to stop me from fighting her male friend. But when I came back from the shop, I saw a police car waiting outside the block. I asked the policeman, what were they waiting for? What were they waiting for? They asked me my name. I told them. Before I could explain myself, I was arrested. But this time, they didn't treat me bad. They didn't handcuff me. Nor did they take my DNA. They asked me if I wanted a lawyer or if I wanted to speak to someone on the phone. I told them no, because I could not wait for them all night in the cell because all 3 of my cats were outside. I wanted them just deliver their litter, and she had to feed them or they would die because there was only 1 week old, and I had to go back as soon as possible to let them in. So I had a quick interview. She put the tape in and recorded the interview. As I made a statement, almost exactly like the one I just wrote, I asked her for a copy of the tape. She said I had to sign for it, and I did, but I had to come back for it in a couple of days. And they released me on bail until the 30th of the 5th, 2004. And she told me, not to make any contact with them, and neither is she allowed to make any contact with me. So I agreed and they released me. I think I was only there for 2 hours this time because I didn't wait for a lawyer. However, I came back a few days later to ask for the tape. They told me that the female officer who interviewed me was not in the station, but she would be in the station in 2 days' time. But when I came back, she still was not in. No one had her number. So I gave them my contact details and I wrote to them in writing on the same notepad for the copy of the tape. But she still never contacted me. But I later decided to make a complaint back on them because she told the police I pushed her first, then she fell on the floor. She got up and I pushed her a second time and she fell. And that's how she cut her face. And there was no man ever mentioned with her in the statement. Her whole story was just a complete lie. I couldn't believe it. So I made a complaint on her by phone. The police arranged to see me on Friday. So I went to Lucian Police Station. I told them I had witnesses who saw her push me at first, and I only pushed her once just in self-defense. And I even had a letter of her. A letter she pushed through my door, threatened to kick off on me, with her name and address on it, if I don't fix up. But he said they only arrested me because we live in the same block and it was their policy as a way of preventing any further harassment. And because she was the one that phoned first, not because I was guilty, but when I tried and pressed charges against her, then they said to me, even if I had witnesses, and even if they were willing to go to court, even if I had a letter of threatening to kick off, of her threatening to kick off on me, the law has changed because I admitted that I pushed her back, even if it was self-defense, even if she pushed me back twice, it was still considered assault. I thought he was joking, but I refused to take any of my evidence. But he said it was just a formal complaint at the statement. He said they would contact me later to see if I would like to make a written complaint and to see if I was still willing to take it any further. But he could not guarantee her arrest because 1 or 2 weeks had passed and they did not feel I was in any immediate danger at the moment. But when I asked him for the copy of the interview tape, he told me the law has changed. I can only get the tape if I'm charged. And if I want the tape, they would have to charge me £30, which I would get back if I went to court. But I told him I don't have the money because I'm unemployed at the moment. I don't want no one giving me a bad name, especially for something I have never done. And not for a known liar and a criminal like Big Mouth Emma. I'm a righteous man, and I know from other people's experience and my own experience, if people cannot find anything, if evil people cannot find anything on you, they will just make up something, make up a lie, like Emma and Andrew. I've never hit any woman in my life, never pushed any, not even man or woman. I never hit anyone first. I've never hit a woman. What I want to ask from the general public is, have I been treated fairly? Or have I been discriminated against by the Lucian Police Station? And should I take any legal action? That goes out to all gentlemen. Thank you.